Good day, this is Ray. Today is Wednesday, May 14th, 2025. For me, another day of filling medications. Hope that you, your family, friends, and loved ones are doing well and staying safe. So, busy as ever. A lot of work to get done at work. Trying to just stay on top of everything. And I noticed today I'm starting to come down with a cough. So, hopefully, it doesn't worsen. I noticed that I've had bouts of coughs that just kind of surprised me. But made it through the day. Got another day tomorrow. I'll be in the office, and it's been going. It's been going well. I'm trying to get used to being in the office more than I had been, and just got to build that tolerance, and just know my limitations. But so far, so good. Little bit of pain today. Looking forward to resting tonight. I hadn't made dinner yet. I will do that in the next 15, 20 minutes and have my dinner at 6. If you don't know my eating schedule, 6 a.m. I have breakfast. Around noon, I have lunch. And then 6 p.m., I have dinner. And it's based on my medication schedule. It's just easier this way. 5 a.m., I take my first set of medications on an empty stomach. 6 a.m., I take the bulk of my medications with breakfast. And then I don't have any medications at noon. And then at 5 p.m., I have my next set of medications, and that's on an empty stomach, relatively speaking. It's a few hours after I've had lunch. And then at 6 p.m., I have my dinner with the rest of my medications. But anyway, it's May still, dealing with a few financial challenges. I had a bill that I just paid. It was $1,640 for a special assessment as part of my HOA. And the old me probably would have freaked out, looked to take out a loan, or if I could charge it on a credit card, I would have done that. But it had to be straight cash, homie, as the kids say. So I did that, but now I have the rest of the bills to pay for a month. I have to allocate a portion of this paycheck towards the mortgage for next month, and a portion of this paycheck towards the regular HOA assessment fee that I have. And then for my last paycheck, which would be on the 30th, I'll allocate the rest of the money needed for both my mortgage and HOA for the month of June. What I've been doing for the past, since the beginning of this year, is trying to pay off my last loan currently, which is at $6,600. And I have a payment due tomorrow, my minimum payment. And so then I'll know exactly how much I need to set aside to be able to hit my mark of paying it down by $825 a month to be able to pay it off by the end of this year. I'm still committing to it. If I can this month, if I can be, stay on track this month, then I will, put myself in a good position. If for some reason I have to miss the target, which I don't think I will, then great. That's just good. I set this target of paying off this personal loan as my stretch goal for this year, because it is the biggest payment that I have towards debt. I'm paying roughly close to $900 a month to be able to do this, which, I have to make some sacrifices when it comes to my grocery bills, because groceries, unfortunately, they hadn't gone down. And, just doing my best to make sure that I can afford to get by, and for my medications, for my doctor's appointments, stuff like that. And as you can see, unexpected expenses. So, I could have, if I wanted to, taken money out of my emergency fund, but I don't see my emergency fund as the go-to fund, or, I have the money in savings. I don't see it as a go-to unless I really can't, allocate the money that I normally make and be able to cover an emergency. So I basically just said, okay, I need to set aside a certain amount each paycheck to be able to cover this $1,640, and was able to do that. And I'm very grateful for that. I did have some surveys that I did where I got a $180 gift card for Walmart. And I actually have another one coming up, $200 gift card for Walmart, and I can get a lot of groceries from that. So that worked out. I'm looking forward to getting from underneath this debt. In particular, the loan, of course, the loan. Then I can focus on my student loan, which will be, I'm thinking by the end of this year, it'll probably be at $30,000, maybe a little bit more than that. But in any case, that will be the only loan that I have to focus on. Is that I don't have to worry about credit card debt, or I have to worry about medical debt, or an auto loan, or any personal loans, or anything like that, 401k loans, anything like that. It would just be my student loans. And since my adult life, I've only known debt. And I'll still have my mortgage, of course, but the type of debt that I want to focus on is the non-mortgage debt, or the consumer debt. I'm going to do everything I can not to go back to those ways. My spending habits are completely different anyway. So, I don't have the temptation to just say, well, I can't afford this, so I'm going to charge it. I'm going to take out a loan to be able to cover this, because I really want this. Whether it be I want to do upgrades to my deck, or, furnish the second bedroom, which could happen next year if I wanted to, but it may not. And then again, professionally, my situation could change where I'm able to do that. Don't know. It's a lot of different factors, but my goal is to be completely debt free before I retire. That will be ideal, and that will mean one less thing to worry about. Hoping that we have Social Security, and that my 401k and my pension are where they need to be. And then, as that, I can live out my retirement years. Early retirement for me, possibly 18 years. 20 years is probably, would be where I actually retire. But, just don't know. There are a lot of different factors in play. So, if I have a salary where I'm making considerably more than what I'm making right now, then it may be that I say, okay, I can commit to 18 years and I retire. But if I'm loving what I'm doing, then, I stretch that out and say, okay, well, I may continue on for 20, 22 years and then be done. But really, I'm not looking to be ultra wealthy or anything like that. I just want to ensure that I have a retirement, and then I can volunteer my time to do whatever I want to help the community, help the family, things like that. That's my vision. That's my hope. But who knows? That's my plans. But anyway, I filled up my medications. I think I got everything. If you got anything out of this, feel free to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications. I post my videos. You can find me at youtube.com/@nightoffmybudget. As always, thank you for watching. You all take care.